Welcome to the Dad and Cole Football Patrol.
That's right. What's going on, guys? Cole, week 1 is in the books. Well, kind of. When we're recording this episode right now, the Monday night games have yet to play, but the Sunday games were unbelievable. I'm just going to ask you this right off the bat. What was like your biggest takeaway? What left the biggest impression on you from Sunday's games?
The Browns versus the Steelers. It went into OT and they tied the game.
I know. I felt so bad for the Browns. That was your upset special pick of the week, by the way. So good job by you picking the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad. I wanted the city so desperately, and Hugh Jackson and Tyrod Taylor. I think there's a lot of good stories there. I wanted them so desperately to win. But look, they tied in a big interdivision matchup.
That's even better.
Yeah, not so bad. Any other immediate takeaways? We're going to do a quick rundown of the games, but anything else that jumped out at you?
There was a lot of interceptions in that game.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger threw 3. Denzel Ward had a big game.
Yeah, he got 2 himself, right? 2 picks himself. Rookie first-round pick. One of the top 2 picks they had out of the first 4 picks in the draft. Showed very well in his debut. So, dude, let's do a quick rundown. I'm going to tell you the game, and I want to hear your immediate thoughts. The Vikings handle their business at home against the San Francisco 49ers. I talked about that as one of my intriguing matchups that I was going to be watching intently. Your takeaway from that game?
Well, it wasn't Kirk Cousins. He had a pretty decent game. Adam Thielen did too.
Yeah, I thought Cousins and
Stephon Diggs called a touchdown too, I think.
Yeah, no, I thought the Vikings showed real well. I tell you what, even though the Niners lost, I thought Garoppolo had some impressive plays. I think the hype machine might have been a little too strong on Garoppolo, but I think they're going to be...
Because once he tried to throw to George Kittle and it went over his head too much.
Yeah, he sailed one. But
yeah.
I think they're going to be a team that gets dialed in as the year goes on, but I think they just don't have enough pieces right there. I think next year maybe the hype will be a little more fitting for them, but I thought that was
maybe
a good...
get a little bit more trades, like a better trade.
Yeah, build up the roster a little bit, but I thought that was a good showing for the Vikings for Cousins' home debut. All right, now, Cole, on the late night game last night, you didn't get to see much of it. I admittedly only watched the first half because I'm an early-to-bed kind of guy, but Aaron Rodgers, after sustaining an injury, comes back on the field, leaves his Packers to a comeback win. Gotta be
by 1 point.
Yeah, that's got to be a heartbreaker for the Bears, the way they jumped out and had command of that game. You kind of thought...
Khalil Mack had a pretty big game.
Khalil Mack had a great showing for the Bears. Yeah, you're right. He had a great showing. But you would have to think, like, Bears fans are thinking, is this the moment, like our game, where, like, the division comes our way, but Rodgers said, no, this is still my division and it's still going to run through me. And he came back and led them to the victory, so I thought that was an impressive comeback for the Packers. All right, now we'll head over to Baltimore, and the Ravens stomped out the Buffalo Bills. Your takeaways?
47-3.
Yeah, what'd you think of that one?
Well, the Bills didn't play really well.
No.
Only a field goal.
Yeah, not much to say for them, except I think it's time to turn the page already to Josh Allen era. Do you expect Josh Allen to start next week?
I would say so.
Yeah, me too. All right, Cole, now for me, like just the absolute shocker of all shocking games yesterday, the New Orleans Saints. What an awful loss for Breeze and Peyton and company. They go down at home in the Dome to back up Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think happened there? I never saw that coming.
Ryan Fitzpatrick threw a long pass all the way to Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I think he hooked up with Deshaun twice, right?
Yeah.
He caught 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Fitzpatrick was airing it out all over the place. I didn't see this one coming at all. I'm going to go on record right now, though, Cole. I think this is going to be one of those early season games where we look back at the end of the year and it was just one team kind of caught another one sleeping. I don't think New Orleans is ready for this, but I still think New Orleans is going to be in contention for the division in a major way, and I don't expect Tampa Bay at the end of the year to be in contention. All right, now for another big interdivision game, this time over in the AFC, another one that I didn't see coming, Kansas City going on the road to Los Angeles.
I predicted that they were to win.
You've been on Kansas City a little bit, and Mahomes showed well. Your takeaway from that game, beating the Chargers?
Kelvin Benjamin blew it.
Travis Benjamin. Yeah,
Travis.
Travis Benjamin. He had at least 2 passes that we saw right in his hands.
2 passes, like, right in his hands, but he had them too far out.
Yeah, no, I know. He dropped some really key passes, but listen, props and respect, Tyreek Hill. I mean, what can you say about this guy? Reed knows how to design.
He got a kick return for a touchdown, and then right after that, the drive after that, he got a touchdown. And there was 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Hardly any time went by. Listen, I'm always critical of Andy Reid. I think when it's big games and big moments, he comes up very small. But the guy knows how to design offense. There's no getting around that. Big win for the Chiefs in their division on the road. All right, now a game that you and I watched. We watched all the games. We were watching Red Zone all day, but Dallas just did not show up at all. Now
Zeke didn't play so well.
No, and the defense was so-so, but the offense was abysmal. They couldn't get anything going. Now, do you think this is more that Carolina is a legit contender in the NFC, or Dallas really is as stinky as they looked?
Well, I think that Dallas isn't so stinky.
Really? Explain that. So you think they're going to be heard from again this year? It was just a tough spot?
9-7 or 7-9.
Okay, all right. Yeah, see, I think they're like a 5-6 win team. I think the three other teams in our division, Eagles, Giants, and Redskins, are head and shoulders above them. And
I don't think the Redskins are going to have a good year, even with that one win.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about that. Redskins went ahead and they handled the Arizona easily.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson looked like he had moments of Adrian Peterson from back in the Vikings, but you don't think that win is impressive as what it looked like? You think that might be more that the Cardinals just kind of stunk?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Cole, I talked about this next game we're going to talk about is one game that I wanted to keep my eyes on that I thought was compelling and interesting, and that was the New York Giants at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Saquon Barkley had his first NFL touchdown.
He did. He broke off a great run, but other than that run, I feel like Jacksonville had him clamped up pretty good. The defense stepped up pretty good.
No, it
was close to safety. Yeah. I remember that play, but they didn't get it. So I thought this was an impressive road win for the Jaguars traveling up to New York. A lot of expectations from Giants fans with a big offseason, but I thought that the Jacksonville Jaguars did what they had to do. I don't think this means that we're not going to hear from New York again. I think they're still going to be a bit of a force to reckon with inside the NFC East, but as an Eagles fan, I can't say that I'm too sad seeing them get a loss. All right, so let's talk about another interconference game between the Seattle Seahawks on the road in Denver. Denver, always a tough place to play. Case Keenum, I thought, had some questionable throws, but overall...
He had INT, I think.
Three. Was it 3 total, right?
I think 3.
But overall, I mean, the offense kind of moved the ball well. Sanders had a big game. I thought the running game with rookie Royce Freeman looked good. And look, Seattle, I just
don't... That one Lindsey guy, I think.
Yes, good call. I forgot about him. Lindsey, who not a lot of people I don't think have been talking about. The focus has been more on Freeman, but he really showed well and had an impressive game. I don't know if Seattle has enough talent on that team. What do you think about them for the long haul this year?
Well, I don't think they have enough talent either.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guys, and I just think at some point you need to have a roster of talent.
They still have Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, but Doug Baldwin, I think, got hurt. He was not to been heard of from yesterday. But listen, Russell is still Russell Wilson, and that guy can keep any team within any football game. So they'll be hanging around, but I just don't think he has enough parts to really be a contender for this year. So, Cole, a big AFC matchup. The Patriots hosted the Texans. And I don't think the score at the end, which was close, it was a one-possession game at the end, was as indicative of that. I thought that really New England kind of was in control throughout most of the game. They let Houston come back in the end a little bit, but I think this was really a New England game. Gronk, if anyone was worried about Gronk, worried about retirement or anything like that, Gronk was Gronk making big plays. Your thoughts about that game?
Well, it was a really good game. There was Tom Brady threw an INT.
Well, listen, it's a lot of guys knocking off a lot of rust. This is almost like an extension in preseason when you get to week 1 anymore. But I thought that was a big win for New England. After a questionable offseason with a lot of guys departing, they came in and really put the clamps on Houston. Now, let me ask you this. Deshaun Watson, I thought, struggled at times. A lot of people are talking about him, top 3 quarterback and everything.
Yeah, like in my books, they rank him like top 3 or top 2.
Yeah, so I think he's going to have some growing pains, which is normal for young quarterbacks. I think everyone needs to hit the brakes on him a little bit, but I do think he showed some poise at the end, kind of rallying them back a little bit, but it was too little too late. Patriots end up getting the win. You know what game we didn't talk about we can touch on real quick? You called this game as one of the games you really want to keep an eye on to be compelling, and exciting, and I don't think a lot of people would have agreed with you.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati and the Colts. I thought it turned out to be a really exciting game.
At the end, their tight end fumbled, and it led Cincinnati, and they got like a
they got it. Yeah, so you're right. Colt had the Colts coming back. You felt like maybe he was going to work his Andrew Luck magic. Bringing them back, but they had a critical turnover. But that was a really good game, so I wanted to give you props. Good job picking that game out. And then, Cole, the last game we'll do another rapid recap on. This was a bizarre game.
It got delayed twice.
I know. So, like, this game kicked off at 1 o'clock, but here we are in, like, the second half of the second set of games, and, like, this game's still going on. It got stopped twice, but the Dolphins pull out the win.
And they were about to have halftime, and then they were like, don't have halftime because you just had a break.
That's right. They came back on when there was like 1 minute left in the first half. Yeah. So they ran the minute and then didn't go anywhere for halftime because they were just in the locker room forever. Now, I picked Miami as my upset special of the week. At the time we were filming, they were an underdog, but by the time the game kicked off, it had flipped. Miami was favored to win. But anyway, nonetheless, I thought Miami showed well. I think Tannehill, Stills, like I've been saying all along, Tannehill brings some credibility back to that offense. I think Gase is a good designer of offense and a good play caller. I think they're going to be hanging around. Frank Gore looks like the pickup worked out for them, and he's able to still run the ball, the ageless wonder. So I think Miami's going to hang around this year in the AFC picture.
What was your favorite game from Sunday?
Yeah, guys, we'd love to hear from you. What game did you enjoy the most? Cole, I had a blast just watching Red Zone with you all day. You're at such a great age right now to watch games with me, so that was fun. So, guys, what game did you love the most on Sunday? Leave a comment. We want to hear from you. And if this is your first time checking us, Dad and Cole and our football patrol, please do hit subscribe. We would love to count on you as active members of our NFL football family. We'll be back and we'll be talking about Week 2 previews coming up soon. Anything else, broski?
No.
Okay, thanks for checking out the video. See you guys. Take care.